Sometimes it amazes me that black race is still even in existence. So many tricks were played on my people throughout history. Babies were snatched from their families and deprived of their ancestral and cultural history. When that happens, how the fuck do you know who you are? Under those circumstances, how can you expect people to start off some 300 years later and catch up with you? You are presenting them with an impossible task. So whenever you hear black people are ignorant, they're dumb, they can't talk, you have to remember that white society only allowed them into the game a few years back. They are, for all practical purposes, still struggling to get in. In that respect, we're fucking incredible. Even the true racists know that black people aren't dumb. They know they've only been riding in the front of the bus for only the past 30 years. They also know with access to the same opportunities, they will excel. Throughout history, the culture of black people has been marketed, exploited, even stolen. When I worked for Warner Brothers, the fact I was street became a marketing angle. A friend told me Eddie Murphy once said, "I get paid for holding my dick." And when you really break it down, he is getting paid to hold his dick on cue. Okay, roll it. Be black. Be street, motherfucker. But do it when I say so. Even if Eddie Murphy's not happy about it, the flip side is he's making money and he can reinvest in his friends and family. Since I've made a few dollars, I've been able to get my buddies out of jail. I've been able to take my buddies' parents to hospitals they couldn't have gotten into before. And I've taken guys on tour for a year who would have stayed home and probably gotten shot otherwise. Money allows you to help people. I don't want to hear how noble it is to be broke. You got a better shot if you got a few dollars in your pocket. You got a chance. I've been guilty of racist remarks, and I'm learning and I'm reaching. When I did say something stupid, I was just using slang words. That's why I don't get angry if somebody says nigger or spick or whatever. Everybody throws these names around. Those words don't necessarily mean anything. I'm not saying if you throw that name at somebody in their face, they're not going to hold it against you for the rest of your life. But sometimes people throw words around and it's just a word. They didn't really mean any harm. If I say I hate you, you have to determine if I'm just momentarily angry or if I'm really practicing hate. People who hate somebody from their heart are a different story. There are people who really practice hating others. Those are the people you really recognize as dangerous, and you should be afraid of them. The whole problem with race relations is based around a lot of lies and a lot of ignorance. If you listen to members of the Aryan Nation talk, which I recommend for anybody who's trying to understand racism, it's all based on fear. We're going to be extinct. We're going to be gone. We have to do something before them Negroes take over. We are the superior race. The scary thing is they're talking all this shit in the name of God. When you read the Bible, which is supposedly the word of God, remember, God didn't write it. Men wrote it. The church deciphers it for you. People who follow the word of God should be very leery of who they're paying to do the interpretation for them. I really don't fear these racists because the youth of the 90s are fighting in the other direction. I really know now more than ever the younger people are coming off that racist shit, and the movement is being spearheaded by music. I think Lollapalooza has a great potential. Artists like Perry Farrell deserve a lot of credit because they have a vision and they also have power. The white musicians are the artists up on the hill, and when they turn around and give credit to other cultures, people listen up. Lars Ulrich wrote in Rolling Stone that Body Count was his favorite metal band. He's given us props. Throughout this whole struggle, that's all people are asking for. They just want some props, some respect. That's why Marky Mark isn't hated. When somebody like Marky Mark comes out and raps, all we say is, well, rap, man. Prove to us you can rap. That's the same way white kids did with me and rock. White kids looked at Body Count and said, okay, we're not going to judge you, guy. Just don't pose, Ice. Give us some real rock. People accept it if it's real. Michael Bolton wins Best R&B Artist because it's not a matter of color to a lot of people. It's a matter of if you accomplish what you're saying you're out to accomplish. And Bolton sings his fucking heart out. Vanilla Ice ran into a lot of problems because he lied, not because he was white. Instead of coming out and saying, hey, I'm a white kid out of Texas and I'm trying to rap, he came out with a hardcore pose. I'm from the streets. I'm down. And when you say you're from the streets, that carries a lot of weight. A lot of black people can't say they're from the street. From the streets means you might have done dope. You might have been homeless. You might have earned your money on the street without an outside job or parents for help. You hustled on the streets of Harlem. Somehow you came up with something to sell so you could make it to another day. You lived and worked the streets. You had $1.40 for dinner and there was no goddamn food. You were there scrambling. Unfortunately, there are too many kids that are from the streets, but Vanilla Ice ain't one of them. I used to ask about Vanilla Ice. What street you from? Sesame Street? It's really where you've grown up. The color of your skin isn't what gives you the flavor, the juice, or the angle of seeing things. It's who you are and how you're living. If a white baby grows up in an LA housing project, he will talk like me. He'll act and walk like me. He might even be the craziest little gangbanger you ever seen. If you take a black child and put him in Simi Valley Home and keep him there and don't let him associate with kids in the hood, he will grow up like Brian Gumble. To me, Gumble is the epitome of the black-skinned white person, his speech, his talk, how he carries himself. Now, for all I know, Brian Gumble might be a cool motherfucker, but on TV he portrays a dude who gave up all his black culture to get a job. He strikes me as the kind of black guy who would call gangbangers niggers and use it in the most negative sense of the word. Maybe he's another product of his environment. Like the Black Panthers used to say, if you think the system works for you and you agree with it, you're in the white. If the system is against you and you're questioning authority, you're in the black. The enemy is the person who judges straight off skin color. You have to know who they are in order to fight it. The fucked up thing that the people in the black know is no matter what you do, you'll always be a nigger. So Bryant, listen up. You're a nigger, man. Anybody trying to get into the white is just being foolish. There is no way around that. I'm proud to be a nigger, and I know I'm in the majority. Not only are blacks niggas, but Indians are niggas, Jews are niggas, Koreans are niggas, Hispanics are niggas, Puerto Ricans are niggas, WASPs who like black people are niggas. If the white racists want to play this little game of supremacy, let's at least get the sides right. If you want to play this game of racism, let's not just be the blacks on one side here. Let's all unify. Then let's see if they want to continue to play. I'm very glad the Koreans and blacks are starting to get together down in South Central. The Hispanics in Los Angeles are also striving toward unity. A real tight unity already exists between the blacks and Puerto Ricans in New York. And it's this type of energy that can finally make South Central a community. If this kind of cooperation continues, it's really going to be a different game soon. That's what's going down right now in the 90s. When I look into the future, I see a day far away, but I do see a day where we can get it together if we don't blow this shit up sooner.